If you've found over the last 6 to 9 months that LinkedIn has got more difficult, you are not alone. It's got noisier. That doesn't mean LinkedIn's dead, but it does mean it's harder to win clients. I can remember like 4 or 5 years ago, I could go on there, send 100 messages and get 15 to 20 people respond. Those days are over. And so now we have to be way more strategic to actually get a result. We have to be more focused and really approach the platform with a plan. I've got 5 slots in my Accelerator Elite program. Now, this is not a program for everybody. It doesn't fit everybody and it won't be everybody's cup of tea, but it's an ROI-backed program that builds a 100-day plan with you. Maverick steps into your world and we, over 100 days, implement a plan. We coach you, we support you, we provide you with templates and frameworks. We give you all the support you need with the content you need to create, how to create it, how you engage a prospect, how you get the prospect onto a call, the tech support to do it. We work truly together to coach and train you and give you that plan to get results. And we are there every step of the way. Now, of course, I can't commit my time to lots and lots of people in this way, and neither can Maverick. So we only have 5 slots available starting early May. So it's a first come, first served basis. We will put you on a wait list if the places have gone. If you want to know how this works, you can click the link below, book a call with our team, and they will explain the whole process to you, how it works. You can decide if it's a fit, and you can be one of the 5. If you're too late, we'll put you on the wait list, and when another spot opens up, we will let you know. So if you are ready to make an impact on LinkedIn, get clients from LinkedIn in the next 100 days, book a call and find out more about the Accelerator Elite program. Good afternoon, everybody. It's Dean here from Maverick. We've got a little echo on the line, so we'll just sort that out. But I hope you're all well. Everybody can hear me. We're all live in the chat. There we go. Friday tech, eh? Thanks for joining us today. We're going to be talking about content that converts and what are the things that make content work if you want to drive leads, sales, or sales calls. Yeah. So at the end of the day, we're doing all this content, we're doing all this LinkedIn thing for a goal. And for most people, that goal is win business, clients, all of that stuff. So do let me know where you're joining from in the chat. Be great to hear from you, know a little bit more about you and who's joining. So hi, Lisa there, and there's some more people watching on YouTube. So the key for today's session is really thinking about what will make people want to take action. When you put posts out there and content out there, what's going to drive people to actually take action? And that's really the key for today's session. So whilst we could talk about all sorts of stuff to do with content, that's really what we're going to focus on. So do let me know where you're joining from in the chat, and we'll kind of start and kick off in a couple of minutes. I'm just going to check that everything is hunky-dory and working as planned, and then we will dive in and start the session. So if you've been posting on LinkedIn, if you've been engaging with prospects, you will know that one of the challenges is you put all these posts out, but do you get sales, leads, and inquiries? This is absolutely critical. Hello, Lisa Thomas. Yes, you're in Plymouth. Awesome. And Jen is a copywriter based in Florida, and Tamara in Chicago, Illinois. So there's lots of people watching here, but what we want to do is get people to take action and get the right people to take action. So that's really what we're going to focus in on today. So what we're going to focus in on, helping you implement some of this into what you're doing. So let's just start off. I'll put some slides up on screen. I'll keep an eye on the chat. Hi, Alyssa here. And tell you a little bit who I am, what this is about, and then we'll dig into the session. So I founded Maverick nearly more than 10 years ago now, and I started as a solopreneur all by myself and built Maverick to where it is today. I don't come from a silver spoon. My dad was a coal miner. I had to build this from scratch. And I used the famous line, I didn't have a small loan of $1 million. Hi, Emma from North Devon, and Corey there, SEO from Bristol. So Corey, I landed in Bristol this morning actually and drove back to Plymouth. So the golden rule here is we teach what we preach. Or we preach what we teach, whichever way around that is. And I often get invited to speak on LinkedIn at various different places. So this is going to be very focused on LinkedIn content more than anything. That's my kind of subject matter. So this is who I am. You can find me on LinkedIn. You can connect with me. You send me a message on LinkedIn. If there's got questions after today's session, you can drop me a line there. Just a quick little bit of an intro to a program we run. Don't worry, I'm not going to do a kind of countdown or any, it's not QVC shopping channel. We have a program that helps businesses implement a plan to grow and get sales and clients. At the end of the day, all of your effort on social media, whichever channel you're using, if you're using it as a business or as a salesperson or as a marketer, you're doing it to get leads and interested people who want to talk to you about your services out. That is the key. So the Accelerator is our program for small businesses and solopreneurs that helps them actually build that plan. We build it with you. We give you the actions, the training and the support to implement that plan. And we work the whole process to say, how many sales do you need? And then we build the plan all the way backwards to what actions should you take on the platform. So that's what the program is, and if anybody's interested in it, they can drop us a line after the session. And it's very much focused on LinkedIn. You can apply it in other places, but it's very much focused on LinkedIn. Okay, so let's crack on with today's session. And I want to start with this point. LinkedIn is like an elevator going up a 90-story building. You've got to turn complexity into total clarity. What do I mean by that? Well, our attention span, the amount of time that we have with prospects, is getting less and less and less. And so our content has to do something very quickly to convince people to take action. It has to do it in seconds, not minutes. And so you get multiple attempts with content to educate your audience. Very rarely, I'll just say hello to Dan and Emma there. Very rarely will one post be the thing that actually gets you leads. It's really important you understand this. One piece of content that brings you leads, it's not necessarily about that piece of content. It's about the other pieces of content that's led up to that post. So somewhere between 8 and 15 pieces of content is what's needed to actually convert somebody into an inquiry. Somewhere between 8 and 15. Some will be building trust, some will be creating awareness, some will be nurturing, and then you've got the conversion content, the content that will actually get people to take action. So what a lot of people do is they go, that post got me loads and loads of leads and inquiries, I'm going to do more of them. The problem is if you don't do the others, that one doesn't perform. People want to buy from people they know, they like and they trust, and so our content has to do that job. And if we try and do that in one post, we will struggle. So it's about lots of posts, doing that over a period, but then what we're focused today on, assuming you've done all of that, what's these posts that will actually get people to take action? So we're going to look at that today. And like always, if you want to jump in the chat and ask questions, the chat's right here. So if you see me looking like this, it's because your chat questions are here. So if you have any questions, please put them there. The other thing I was going to say is we've got a book, and maybe I can get a copy of it to show you, called Get Clients from Social Media. I'm going to get a copy and I'll bring it to you in a second. It's a blue covered book. You've probably seen it before, but it's literally a resource on understanding how do I get people to want to talk to me and book calls, and it's a bit more in depth. So if I can find a copy of that, I'll ask the team to get me a copy of that. I think there's a few copies. Get Clients from Social Media. I meant to pick it up, but it's literally outside there, guys. Here we go. So you can tell this is live, right? Thank you very much. So this is a copy of it. We've got it as a PDF. I don't know if you can see that there. This is a copy of the book. It's only 12, 15 pages, but it basically breaks down one of the simplest ways you can get leads from social media and you can sustain it. So if you'd like a copy of that, there should be an email address on screen. Send an email to us. The email address to send it to is on screen. So drop us a line and say, Dean said I can have a copy of this PDF. We won't post you one. We'll send you an electronic version. We'll email you back one. But if you want a copy of this book with a guide, it's got a mildly smiley face of me on the front. We'll give you a copy of that will just help you understand a little bit more about, okay, what are the process? So there's a section in there called converting clients, unlocking results. We've got core fans, we've got building a crowd. It's kind of very, very practical and it just explains the process. So if you want a copy of that, drop us an email, we'll get it to you. Right, so we've got to do a lot of stuff quickly and in a short space of time with our content. And I've got 50 minutes with you to do this because I've got to wrap up bang on 3 o'clock. So I'll do a little bit, I'll leave some time at the end for questions. But simply put, make a mental note, write on your notes. If a post is longer than 60 seconds, it's probably more than one post you've written. You want to keep your post light and easy to read. Too much makes people check out, and too much might cause people to not inquire. Remember, most of our content that will convert for us into leads and in DMs and inbound inquiries will be content that creates curiosity about, ooh, maybe this could work for me. Maybe this is a good idea for me. We don't want to try and give people every piece of information so they don't want to talk to us. We want to be able to show and demonstrate and explain to them how the value matters for them. And very often what we do with our conversion content is we try to load it up with too much information so they see no need to actually make the inquiry. And this is a common issue that people do with content. Team Litica, if you want to get a copy of this, you can keep the link, but if you want us to send a copy to you by email, again, just you send us an email. Our email address is on screen. Drop us an email and we will send it to you. So don't put your email in the chat, send us an email. So, okay, so there's really, we're going to break down this conversion content now and really unpack it for you. So there's really kind of a simple understanding of what we need to do. We've got to basically make all our value as clear as possible and make it so it's hard to misunderstand. Not it's hard to understand, it's actually hard to misunderstand it. It's hard to get confused. And very often when you look through the feeds, a lot of it is complicated. A lot of it is too complicated. We want to make it really easy. So we have to understand, what are we going to market with? What are we going to market with? For who? And then build the message off of what we're selling, to who, why do they need it, why does this matter to them? And then have a system of putting content out that attracts, nurtures, and converts. Attracts, nurtures, and converts. So we need to know beforehand what we're selling. We need to know who we're selling to. Why? Because when we create this content, if we understand who we're selling, what we're selling and who we're selling it to and why they need it, guess what? The content can become way more focused, way more relevant, and it will cut through a lot of the noise, because when you don't have this clarity around these issues, what happens is your content becomes generic. It appeals to lots of different people. And so when you try to show value, the value feels generic, and so people don't want to know more about it. It's just another thing that they've seen. It might be interesting. I'm sure it's good, but it's not relevant to me. So this is what it starts with. It all starts with strategy, offer, audience, message, and then the process. How are we going to turn that through. How are we going to move people on a journey from they don't know us to actually they're interested in buying from us and making an inquiry? That's the key here. But we're focused today on the convert element. I'll touch the others a little bit, but very briefly. So on LinkedIn, and I know this isn't part of the session, there is kind of some keys to making LinkedIn work. One is content, but it's not just content, it's building your network, it's growing with the right people. Again, coming back to the strategy. It's engaging them, and there's lots of different ways you can engage somebody on the platform. Yes, you can engage them through your feed content, but you can engage them with off-feed content. You can engage them with LinkedIn events. You can engage them in commenting. You can engage them in DMs. There's a ton of different ways to engage people. And when you engage people, you're getting their attention and you're getting them interested and you're opening up a conversation. It's not just some random connection. It's actually somebody of value and relevance, and they speak into your world and you get their value. Then there's the conversion. So what are we communicating to the world? How do we connect and build visibility? How do we build value and relationship, and how do we convert it? Hi, Giorgio from Italy. So content, let's get into the content piece. Like I said, there's the attract content, there's the nurture, and there's the convert. Now, attraction content, I'm going to break it down, is designed to literally increase your visibility and grow your following. Get more people coming and spending time with you. They see you more. Nurture content, and again, this is all listed in the book. It's all listed in the book. It's not broken down. It's broken down in a slightly different way, but it's the same principles. And then the clients, how do you get them to convert into calls and opportunities? So here's the 3 categories of content. So our attract content is a bit broader and a bit more less focused on our offering, but it's still on topic. It's still on theme. And I'm going to break that down in themes in a moment. So things like motivational information, humor, facts, stories, polls, light bulb moments. And by light bulb moments, I mean things that help people understand something better. So it's an explainer. Nurture content, which is designed to help you build more trust, build your personal brand, and evidence expertise. So in other words, they begin to trust your information and your content. So attract is like, wow, this is interesting. Nurture is, this is really valuable. And then conversion is, I need their help. So nurture content is very much about helping people understand things better, giving them things to do, helping them a little bit on their journey. And at this point, I'm going to reference something, one of my trademark, I'm going to trademark this if I can, what I call DIYers, triers, and buyers. Now, very often when we create content, we get frustrated that people like and comment, but don't seem to want to go further. There is effectively 3 groups of people. You've got the DIYers. They're the people who'll come and consume your content. They'll find it valuable, they'll like and they'll comment, but often what happens is they're not actual serious buyers. They're not people who want your services. They're people who just like what you've said. But ultimately, if they face the challenges you can solve, if they have the problems that you can solve, their priority is actually to do it themselves. They're going to try and solve it themselves. Now, we can get really frustrated about that, or we can understand that that's just the nature of the beast, that we get some people who are DIYers and they come and they take our value and they use it. And your job with those people is not to get angry, not to get frustrated about it, is to actually channel them and say, hey, I appreciate all the times you come to my content, you like and you comment. I really appreciate every time you share, and give them, channel them into being your amplifiers, the people who help you get seen by more people. Ask them, will they get this out, help you get this out? Turn them into your champions. If they really value what you do, help them a little bit more so that they become those people who get you in front of more people. 10 to 15 people who really love what you do, even if they're DIYers, can put you in front of hundreds, if not thousands, of other people by being your best, most loyal backers. So think about it like that and go, in my content, how can I channel the people who are consuming the information but maybe aren't the right fit for me, aren't the right customer demographic, but they resonate with it. Maybe they don't have the budgets that for your service. How can I channel them to amplify, even though they can't be a customer? Now, the next group of people in this category, it's important to know this from the content point of view, is triers. And triers are people who fundamentally they'd like to do it themselves. And they look exactly like DIYers. They look exactly the same. And guess what? They are people who actually try to do it themselves, struggle, and come back to you because you're the source of their information. You're the trusted expert. You're the go-to expert in their world. And so they come back to you for help. So the DIYers, it's you're the source of information, they're going to go do it. The triers is you're the source of information, they go do it but struggle, and so they come back to you. And I've said this many times, all the information on earth is already on Google, it's already on YouTube, it already exists. So you're not risking anything by sharing information they can get elsewhere. You're actually risking that they find the information elsewhere and don't need you. Typically, there's a stat that the first person that helps somebody understand something usually is the person who gets the inquiry. And this is common in sales too. The first person to speak to the prospect usually wins the business. And in content, if you give value to the person and they go, wow, that was incredible, that really helpful, I'm going to go try it, and they struggle, the likelihood they're going to come back to you. So that's triers. They look like DIY people, but actually they have budget but would prefer to do it themselves. So they try to do it themselves, then realize they can't, or that it's not the way they thought it was. They come back to you and they can be your customers. And then the final group is the buyers. And these are, in some ways, the most frustrating. And often when people say to me, this content thing, I really get frustrated with it. I'm not sure I should even do it. And I say, you need to be aware of the buyers. And they go, I've got no buyers. There's nobody there. And when you start to realize what happens is a lot of the people who have budget and who are looking at a distance. So that on LinkedIn, we call them lurkers. They're people who are your ideal clients, and what they're doing is they're watching from a distance. They might engage every so often, but you and I wouldn't know who they were from anybody. We wouldn't know who they were because they wouldn't be all over us on the content. They're actually watching from a distance. They don't want to give their hand away. They just want to observe, check you out, see if you're the real deal before they actually make an inquiry. And they come through and they go through from actually inquiry to sale pretty quick because one, they've consumed a lot of content. That's number one. And number two, they're already in that frame of mind of, I need the expertise to get where I need to go. I don't have the expertise myself to get there, so that's why I need somebody. So triers, DIYers, triers, and buyers. And the DIYers help the buyers see you. The DIYers help the buyers see you. No DIYers, you get no buyers. You're invisible. You're invisible. So when we come to the convert content, we have to build on the foundation of we've been attracting the audience, we've been nurturing them with valuable content. I'm going to break down on this in a moment. And then the convert content is on top of this. So how much of each should you be doing? So if you were posting every day on LinkedIn, you would do 2 of your posts every single week would be attract posts. 2 of your posts would be nurture posts. And 1 would be a conversion post. Now, it's really important to understand that the post that will get the highest engagement will be your attract and nurture content. Your conversion content will actually get the least amount of engagement. So try to put and jumble them up in the week, so you don't have attract, nurture, convert. Mix them up, jumble them around so that your attract posts are spread out, your nurture posts are spread out, and your convert posts. And typically what happens is people do it along the lines of attract Monday and Fridays, nurture Tuesdays and Thursdays, and convert on Wednesdays. So you've got this nice build up between content. You can do it however you like, but it's better that the convert content is not on a Friday, it's middle of the week. That's the most optimum times on LinkedIn when people are more active on the platform, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday generally. So convert content, maybe I'll come back to this slide in a second, because I want to talk about how you load up content so that it appeals to people who need you. Because often what we do is we write content and it's not loaded with any motivations. And when it's not loaded with any motivations, what happens is you attract people who find it interesting, but they have no compulsion, no need to take action. And so when you frame your content around buyer motivations, you actually get a better result. You get more engagement from people who want to solve that issue. So your buyer motivation is actually a combination of symptoms and impact. What do I mean by symptoms and impact? And this is important for your conversion content, but it's important for all your content. So for an example, I help people win clients and grow their business and build a pipeline on LinkedIn. So my buyer motivation is very financially orientated. So the symptoms are around they're using LinkedIn, but they're not winning any business. There's a problem that means LinkedIn's there, it's a great opportunity, we don't know how to use it and we want to make more money. So there's a symptom, a problem that exists. So in my content, I speak to the problem. But more than that, I speak to the impact, the transformation they want to achieve. So the combination of the problem and the outcome, the symptom and the impact, I mash that together in my content, and that is the buyer's motivation. So when you see my post, you'll notice every post is angled towards building a business, selling, closing deals, winning clients with LinkedIn. Because my topic is very clear. My topic is very clear, but my buyer motivations are loaded and weaved into my topic. So my topic is LinkedIn, and my buyer motivation is winning clients, making money, growing businesses. So those two become basically wedged together. Louise, yes, if you email us, my email address is on screen. If you send an email to the one on screen, our email on screen, you can ask for a copy and a copy of the book here. So the buyer motivation. So in a post, any post, attract, nurture, or convert, I've got to include my topic. So attract, I'm going to do an attract post. My topic, LinkedIn. My buyer motivation, making money. So I can do, how can I motivate people? Because that's one of the attract suggestions. About LinkedIn and making money, growing business, making sales, winning clients, right? So that's information. Nurture, what mistakes can I help people see about, so mistakes, buyer motivation is winning clients, making money with LinkedIn. What mistakes? And I've structured a post. Now, when we come to the convert content has to speak to more so to their problem and get more specific to the problem and actually define your answer to the problem. Now, very often what happens is when we're trying to promote or get people to take action, we try to tell them exactly what it is. That's not what you should be doing in your convert content, telling people what it is. Because you and I have our own particular worldview. Yeah, we see the world in a particular way. And every word you say, I take that in and I frame it in my way of thinking. So that's what I do. And you do the same. We frame things based on our understanding, it's other people's words. We hear them, we see them, we read them, and we absorb them and interpret them according to how we feel about those words. So the more you try to describe what you do, the more you might trip yourself up. So we want to stay and explain not what it does in the sense of the nuts and bolts of my gadget, service, what have you. We want to explain the transformation it achieves. So if I was writing a promotional piece of content, I'm going to show you, break this down in a second. I'm going to focus on how my accelerator program, and I'll use my accelerator as an example. So instead of saying, you get weekly coaching, you get a go-to-market strategy written by me, you get one-to-one sessions with me every week, you get a 90-day plan to get results, we reverse engineer. I can say all of that. That's wonderful. That sounds all exciting. But what people really want to know is, Dean, this is where I am right now. This is where I want to get to. Tell me how your service can help me there. Just give me something to lean on to go, this could be interesting. This could be what I wanted. And it's not about, the cogs of it so much as it is about explaining how that bridge between where I am and where I want to be gets crossed. Now you will have, methods, strategies, tactics, frameworks, know-how, blah, 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 blah. But actually what they want to do is you explain to me, give me confidence about if I'm here right now, this will do this that will get me here, and this will do this that will get me here, and this will do this that will get me here. So I can see that what you do will get me from point A to point B. I don't say weekly coaching. I don't say just one-to-ones. I don't say digital training library. They are all useful in supporting and evidencing how that bridge is built, but it's not the bridge itself for the client. We know that the detail is all this, but actually what they want to see is give me a feel for, can this work for me? Give me a feel for, can this work? So this is where social proof posts can be quite useful. So testimonials, screenshots of what clients sent you, where you say, this is where they were, this is what they were struggling with, this is how we got them to result, and this is what's happening now. They're very simple. What often we do is we try and do complex things, but what we want to do is tell the problem, show the problem existed, show them the result they wanted, how we got there, and if they want it, take action. So social proof content can be quite useful. Reasons why people should join, sign up, or become a customer. Write those posts. You're only doing it once a week, so you don't have to write tons and tons, but tell people 3 reasons why you should join the accelerator. Number 1, you're going to have a plan that you can follow that won't sap up all your time, but will get you results. You'll be able to forward plan your revenue based on your activity or something like that, right? You see what I'm saying? You can give people 3 reasons very clearly, write them down and go, does this give them confidence? Not that my service is good, but does it give them confidence that their outcome they want to achieve is possible with me? It's very important. People don't buy things for the sake of it. They buy things to get to a destination. And so when we do our conversion content, we have to talk about the destination. We have to talk about their current place, where they're struggling with, what's going on right now. But we don't obsess about the airport. We don't obsess about the plane tickets. We don't obsess about all the stuff. We say this is how we're gonna do it. This is where you are right now. We're gonna get you on that plane. That plane is gonna take you over 2 hours. It'll take you there. You'll land. There'll be a coach on the other side. It will take you to your hotel. And at the hotel, there is a beach. There's a pool. There's a bar. There's stuff for the kids to do. It's beautiful sun, great pictures, great weather. that's what we do. And for some reason, the B2C world does this really well, but in the B2B world, we forget that we've got to convince people, we've got to show people and help people understand that there is a destination with our service. There is a result. Even if you're selling a subscription service or a SaaS product, you are convincing people with this vehicle, this service, this product that I pay monthly for, I will get to a destination. And that destination could be less this or less that, but it's also, what does that mean for them now? If they have, call answering service and it means less nuisance calls, it also means something else. They got more time to focus on their work with less distractions. They get a more professional way of answering the phone. So these kind of posts really do make an impact. So one of the key ones to do here, and this is an exercise you can do, is write down every single objection that you would have or think of that you might receive from potential customers. It's too expensive. I don't have time. It's no different to another product. I've tried this before. Every possible objection. I'm not saying they're legitimate objections, but write them down. Be devil's advocate, be brutal. Write them all down. And then think about, how can I write about those in posts? So if you get one where it's like, I've tried this before, right? What would I say to somebody who says, oh, I've tried this before? Do you know what? I'm going to write that post. Every so often I get somebody who comes and talks to me and says, I want to do this, but I've tried it before. Here's what I say to them, right? Fundamentally, my accelerator is X, and this is what it does. But if you've tried stuff before, you might be going, oh, well, I've done that, it didn't work, or I didn't like it, I didn't have the time to do it. And explain and counter that objection in a post and say, look, if you've struggled with this, drop me a line. I'm going to give you a tip on call to actions in a second. And tell people exactly what you want them to do next. But use your objections in content, because if you've got DIYers, triers and buyers seeing it in your convert content, you're basically taking down the objections before you ever have a conversation. So if people have that objection, you're saying, this is a common thing, don't worry about it, but it's not true. And you can be more open in encountering that objection in a post than maybe you might do on a call. Because I've always found when you go on a call and somebody gives you an objection, you can, of course, go, well, actually, this, and you can counter it. But you're almost responding to their issue. So it's almost like you're trying to turn the conversation around because they've said something that is a legitimate concern. Now, if you're a salesperson, you deal with this all the time. But wouldn't it be smarter to use them in your content so that people go, yeah, I felt like that, and you're saying that's not relevant, but you're saying it before they've said it, so it's more trustworthy. It's more trustworthy because you're putting it out to the world. So objection posts do really well. Social proof I've mentioned. Reasons. And this might seem really strange. 5 reasons you should join the accelerator. I know that sounds really strange, and you don't have to do it every week. You could bring that one out every 3-4 months. But you can put posts out like that explain the reasons you should join. You want to use LinkedIn to get clients, but you're struggling to make it work. You have spent a lot of time on LinkedIn and not really got much return. Number 3, you've been using lots of different strategies and you've chopped and changed, and you want something you can consistently implement. Number 4, you want expert advice and support to make sure you hit success and avoid the guesswork. I can make a reasons post and explain 5 reasons you should join the accelerator. And I can put that out and I can give people compelling reasons why that matters. A compelling reason isn't weekly coaching, right? That just supports so if we think about it, 5 reasons to join is their motive to join. The supporting information that helps people see that that's likely to happen is the mechanics, the cogs, the weekly coaching, the go-to-market strategy, all the training, the accountability, the community. All of those things back up the fact that if you've got this, these are the reasons to join, and this is how we make it happen. So reasons posts can be really good. Another one is sneak peeks. So sneak peeks is where you tease a little bit and say, look, if you want to do this plus this, take action. And I'll do call to actions in a minute. And then the final one that's really easy to do, and many people don't do it, is actually promote your product or service. Do a post that clearly says, hey, this is what I do, this is how I do it, and this is how you can get it. Go and make it really obvious. You see, if we're connected, you'll see I do these posts probably once a week. I do a this is what I do in some way, shape or form. Why? Am I expecting hundreds of leads to come in off that one post? No, I'm doing it so people in my feed who are lurking get educated about what I do, so that when it's the time's right, they come in and they already know. The amount of times people have come to me and said, I want in on this. I've seen it already. And it's like, oh, I don't need to introduce you to it, because they've learned over a period. So actually promote. I spoke to somebody a few weeks ago and I said to them, how often do you actually promote in your feed? And they go, every week, every week. So I said, shall we look through your feed? And we looked through the feed, and there was motivational quotes, there was attract content, there was some nurture content in there, and we looked through and we saw it all. Do you know we couldn't find any form of promotional content? None. And this is a mistake that we make. Sometimes what we do, we don't plan it. And so what happens is we think we're doing it, and when we look back, we're actually not. And the other problem we find is the convert content doesn't perform as well. It just doesn't, right? That's just life. We just have to get over that, right? But when we do attract posts and we share selfies of what we've been doing and all this kind of stuff, right? Those posts do really, really well. And it fries our brain chemistry, because it feels better to do the attract posts and get loads of engagement and people think we're wonderful and all that kind of stuff. And that feels really good. And I like that too. It's addictive. That's why social media took off. The post where you get thousands of people engaging with you because of whatever. I put a video up with a rabbit jumping up and down, or, you know, I've told people about something that's happened to me that wasn't very nice, or something that's happened to me that's really good, or I've told a story or whatever. Those posts are feel-good posts. People love them, and we love them when we do them. But you get zero business from it, because it's not always focused on the right audience. I'm all for getting as many eyeballs on your content, as many as possible, however you want to do it, as long as it helps build your business and build your revenue, your clients, sales. If you can get 1 million views and it helps you make sales, go for it. But I can tell you now, you don't need 1 million views to make sales. It's not the case. If you get an engaged group of 100 to 200 people in your network, I'm not saying just there, go for gold, but actually engaged group of 200 people, and you can really add value into their world, you will have enough business for the next 6 months. But what we do is we think, oh, likes, comments, the big crowds, all that audience, that will equal sales. It doesn't. What happens is that because the attract is more broad, generally content, you attract a lot of eyeballs, but they can't tell you why. There's no need. There's no motivation to buy. There's no momentum behind them coming to you, other than you made them laugh, you made them cry, you got them angry. That's great to get the views, but it's not great to get the money. So attract is good, but sometimes what happens is the convert content isn't as good, and it won't be as good because only a small group of people will be at that point where they want to take action, and we're going to tell them to take action, they're going to go do the action. They're not going to engage and say, I want to buy. Very few people will comment on a post and say, I'm going to buy this. Very few people. I want this. I want to arrange a call. So if you don't get the likes in the comments, that post won't perform as well. So it's natural that your conversion content's not going to get as much visibility. It's just the way it rolls. But the attract and the nurture will. And so that's why we mix it all together. So there is this danger that you get kind of a little bit addicted to the attract content, don't do the convert content, and then you end up going, why have I got all these followers, all these impressions, all of this, and not dropping any business out of it? It's because you've got things out of whack a little bit. So I want to talk about a few things about posts for a second. Now, there is a structure to posts. I've only got a few minutes, so I have to pick up the pace here. Maybe what I'll do is because I'm tight on time, I probably waffled a little bit. If you want a copy of this video, not this video, I've got a video on this particular thing about structuring posts. If you want a copy of the video, my email address is on screen. So what I want you to do is email us and say, Dean said he could have a copy of the content structure video, and we'll send it to you. Because I'm not going to get through this and do justice to it in the time. So I'm going to dodge it. And if you want it, you can email us and we'll send it to you. So email's on screen, I think, somewhere there. Yeah, email's on screen. And I'll send you this because I just don't have the time to do it justice. But there's a couple of mechanics that you can use on your post to really get traction, particularly with your content, your conversion content. Because whilst it might not get as much engagement as our attract, we do want to make sure it gets as much as possible. So there's a couple of quick things that's really important to think of. So this post on screen, you'll see it on screen right now next to the structure. The post on screen is basically how my post looks in the feed. Now, my post has to look a particular way in the feed, primarily to get people to stop scrolling. I have to get them to stop. That's my first job, get them to stop scrolling. So number one, that's what I've got to do. So often I will use visuals and text that's loaded with buyer motivation and is clear so that people go, what is this? I want to know what this is. I'm going to look at this. What is it? So that's the first thing, that you've got to get people to stop scrolling. So it's very much about your visuals. It's very much about the first few lines of text. But importantly, the visual has to stop the right people scrolling. So this is where the buyer motivations have to be woven in to the visual so that it gets people to go, oh, I need to stop. Quick tip, the taller your post in terms of graphics, the more it takes to scroll past. So you get more real estate with tall images and tall videos. So then I write the copy at the top. As you can see here, I write the copy to deliberately tease so that people click the see more. Now, when people click the see more, basically you increase the length of time that the average user will spend on the post. So you increase the amount of time they're spending on the post. And when you do that, LinkedIn likes dwell time, so the post will be seen by more people. So just a simple thing as, if I can get you to click that see more, I'm going to get this post in front of more people. Now, of course, with a conversion post, I can tell people to take action and I can try and do that. But one of the big challenges with that is, obviously, I want them to take action. I don't want them to just like and comment. I want them to actually message me. So we want to make our call to action as clear and as simple as possible. How do we make it clear and simple? Well, there's a couple of really simple things you can do. And I found this a little bit cheesy, to be honest, but I started doing it and it was really effective. But it is a little bit cheesy. So what you do is you tell people exactly what to do to take action, but you give them exactly what to say. Now, I thought that this was silly, and I thought it looked really like low status, but actually it's highly effective. So if you tell people, and on mine it says DM me win if you want to get clients from LinkedIn, right? It feels cheesy. I'm British. It feels a bit too marketing-y, salesy, you know what I mean? But when I give people an exact way to engage or to take action, they actually do it. And so my lead volume, my inbound lead volume has increased on all my social channels since I used the buyer motivation and gave people a very specific call to action. So if you want to get clients on LinkedIn, DM me the word win. And you'll see it on, not every post, but often it's in my posts on Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, everywhere. And guess what? At least every day, I'll get 2 or 3 people saying win. It's crazy, right? So a specific call to action and telling people how to do it makes it easier. Same with if you want to drive more comments, ask more questions and ask specific questions. Do you think this was good or bad? Tell me in the comments. And I know that sounds really strange because LinkedIn's a professional business network and it's all grown-ups, but you'd be surprised why advertising has thrived for so many years by telling people to do exactly thing. Go to this website now. We've been doing this for hundreds of years. We have to tell human beings to do exactly what we want on a call to action. Yet, for some reason, we don't do it. Yet it's the best practice to give people a specific action to take. So every conversion post, you need to not just tell them what to do, tell them how to do it. So drop me a DM with the word win if you want to get clients from LinkedIn. Sounds strange, but it's highly effective. So give people a clear and specific call to action. If you're doing, you want to drive more engagement, ask more questions in your post, but ask people for their opinions and tell them, I want to hear your opinions. I'll give you an example from a YouTuber, one YouTuber doing really, really well and did not say, please like, comment and subscribe in his video. Didn't do it. And he was growing, his videos were performing, and then he decided to actually do it. So there's nothing bad. It wasn't like I was stuck or anything like that. But as soon as he said, if you like this video, go like, comment and subscribe, his subscriber count went up, right? And started to go up. Now, obviously that's a no-brainer, but the reason why you see all of this is because sometimes, as much as how clever we are that we can go to the moon, we can build space rockets, we can do all this stuff, we still need to be told exactly what to do. So in your conversion content, as well as getting the attention and getting people to see more and explaining the motivations, the reasons why they should buy, giving them compelling reasons to take action and telling them how to do it become very important. If we just try and present, this is the gadget and this is how clever it is and talk about the features, we're going to lose. But if you start to really engineer your content and one day a week we go, actually, I'm going to really show value. I'm going to show how our service makes a massive difference to a particular target audience. And I'm going to tell them to take action. If you start to do that, it won't work post number 1 because it's about the whole combination of posts working together. But if you consistently do that, you will consistently start to get inquiries from people who want the outcome, your service, your coaching, your consulting, your marketing work, your copywriting, your whatever it is you do can deliver. They want the outcome. They don't want the input. Yeah, they want the result. They don't want the process. The process is the means to the result. You sell the result, not the process. The process is the justification that you can achieve the result. I said that really quick, but hopefully you got that. So I'm gonna wrap up because we're tight on time. But before I wrap up, one thing I'm going to point out, because there's a couple of quick takeaways. Takeaway number one, if you want a copy of the book, our email address is on screen right now. Send us an email, we'll get a copy to you. It's Friday afternoon, so it might well be over the weekend or Monday when we get that to you. But if you want a copy of this book, go and email us and say, Dean said I can have a copy of the Get Clients from Social Media book, and we'll send you a PDF. Number two, if you're ready to take action on LinkedIn, you want to win on LinkedIn, I'm practicing what I preach here. If you want a plan that will actually get you clients, you give us a number and say, I need this many clients. This is my target audience. We will build and reverse engineer that plan that will get you from wherever you are right now, one client, what I call jazz, just above zero. If you're just above zero right now and you want to actually consistently get clients from LinkedIn, we will build the plan with you, we will execute the plan with you, and we will handhold you to that result. So if you want to know more about that, drop us an email, hi@maverick.io. Member of the team will tell you a bit more. Go on a call and explain how it works. But if you want to copy the book, drop us an email. I am going to say thank you so much for joining. One final thing, if you've got value from this and you go, Dean, I don't need the accelerator. Dean, I don't need the book. You've got to promise me to be a good DIYer. So come follow me, come engage with me, do a post about us. I really appreciate all those people who come and go, Dean, this is incredible. I'm doing this myself. That's all cool if you want to do it yourself, but please share the love so other people can find out about what we do and how we help people. So thank you so much for joining me on Friday afternoon. I will see you again next week. We've got another session next week, so go check out the company page over the weekend. You'll get there'll be details of another event that we're doing next Friday to help you win on LinkedIn. Thanks for joining us.
Dean's strategy helped me find clients. I created clients for my business with this program. It works.
My connections have grown, my reach has grown, my views have grown, and actually so has my business revenue. Over that 3-month period, I have actually signed up 3 new clients at a cost of £50,000. That's over just the 3-month period. So it's worth it.
Every single time there's a session, I just feel like it's just a golden moment. Every single session brings me something really new and really valuable, and I've started to attract high value client sales, which is wonderful, and it's really given our business a boost.
Dean Seddon and the Maverick team, what can I say? Apart from absolutely awesome.
The results have been amazing. We have had loads of incoming leads coming into our lead funnels and workflow processes on our website. And we've also built a really successful community around the content that we produce and push out into our LinkedIn channels. My team has also learned a lot from working with the team at Maverick, and they've also helped us really create fantastic events on LinkedIn.
I'm much more confident, and all of that, without a shadow of doubt, is down to the work and the training and support I've had from Dean and the rest of his team as part of the Accelerator course.
In terms of the training, Maverick have been absolutely fantastic. They've been so supportive. They've talked me through all the stages of what you have to do, why you have to do it, the benefits of doing it the way they tell us to do it. And I've gone from being with no social media to being actually addicted, because I can see what this can do for lead generation, generating new business. It's just been incredible, and Maverick have been superb throughout the whole process.
The guys at Maverick, they've been great. Dean and his team, very knowledgeable, wealth of experience, and we've had quite a few one-to-ones now that really taught us the depths, the nooks and crannies of LinkedIn, which none of us would have known before, and I think we can continue to use that going forward, and it's been great so far, and I hope to continue to use it as well.